Hello. I think your best bet would be to take the dial off and look under the dial and see if you can find the suspension spring and that pendulum rod. It's not hard to do, and I thought I would do it. Here's a clock similar to yours. They're all kind of different, but this is a Japanese office wall clock like yours, just a different design. Need to open the glass first. You'll need a small pair of pliers or any kind of pliers that you have, and a screwdriver, probably the smallest that you can find that'll fit the screws. First thing you need to do, I'm going to try to do this one-handed, holding the camera with one hand. Locate the pin. There's a taper pin here on the end. That's what holds the minute hand on. And if you look carefully, one end will be fatter than the other side. One it tapers, so this end is smaller and it gets fatter as it goes, and here's fatter. So just squeeze the pin out, put the pliers on, hook it here, and then kind of get and push it out like that. There we go. And then there'll probably be a washer or two, or sometimes three, that's under that pin. And just lift the washer off, or two washers, depends how many is needed on yours. And then the minute hand will just lift right off. The hour hand sits on like a clutch. It's just kind of pressed on. You can push it around and around. So just kind of grasp it and go back and forth while you gently pull, and it also lifts right off. Then if you look around the edge, you'll see some screws that are holding the dial on. This one has 4, some have 3, 5, all different amounts. Sometimes you'll see lots of little extra holes where other screws were over the years. And just put the screwdriver on and take each screw off. Might be a good idea to get a cereal bowl or something like that to put all the little screws and hands and pins in while you're doing this, because after you find the pendulum rod, I would think the best bet would be to put the clock on the wall and let it run without the dial on for a few days, just to make sure everything is good, so that you don't have to don't put the dial right back on and then find out that you got to take it off to make an adjustment. Kind of fun to watch the movement go around and around and do its thing, and marvel that 100 years ago somebody figured out how to make that. A little tricky to do one-handed. Okay, now it should just lift right off of there. Here it comes. There we are. This has got the movement. And what you're going to be looking for is this right here. They call it a suspension spring because it's kind of springy. It's a real thin piece of metal, and it's hooked to this rod. Then the rod goes up under here, and then there's a hook to hang your pendulum on. Now, we've never ever had one of those fall off in shipping, but there's a first time for everything. If it's not there, if you see this arm right here and there's no rod going through the loop in it, then then this suspension string and rod will be up in here somewhere, laying on top of the movement, or maybe back here. Depends how hard they bounce the carton. We tested your clock when it got back here on the wall, and the pendulum rod was certainly there, and we tested it for a couple of days to make sure it was working right. So I hope this helps some. To put it back on is pretty simple. Just lay the dial back on, put your 4 screws back in, push the hour hand back down and aim it to where it was, like if it was at 9, and then set the minute hand right there, put your washer on top, and push that pin back in, and you're ready to go. Hope this helps you.